Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This is Agatha, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. You're still with me for another immigration related content. We will also discuss the pointing system because for you to be invited to apply as a permanent resident, you should be reaching the required scores, the CRS scores. Now, so there was a draw held recently this September, and the score was 472. So I will be explaining more of that when we go through the express entry profile and the CRS calculator. So we will look into all the factors and see how many points and see how much points correspond to each factor. So this is a very good way to see where you're at if you actually have a shot at being invited, and this will also open up other pathways for you, because if you see that you don't meet that required number of points, then you can look into other pathways to increase your points. So we'll look into all of that in just a second.
Now in this video, we will be going further into the CRS scores. Now, how would you know how to compute if you will be able to reach the CRS cutoff, which is 472, and if you need to do a different pathway just to gain more points? Okay, if you need. So in this video, we will be going through the different factors where you are given points that you can use for your express entry profile, and that points will be the determining factor if you will be sent an ITA or an invitation to apply as a permanent resident of Canada. So let's take a look at all the factors. So this is where you can check your points. This is a comprehensive ranking system criteria for the express entry profile. Let's go through each factor. So for age, let's just there's two kinds of pointing system here. If you are single, okay, or if you are married or you have a common law partner. And now, if you are married or have a common law partner, your scores are, well, you can see that your scores are going to be a little bit lower than if you are single. Okay, so you have to take that into consideration as well when looking into how many points you would get per factor. So for age, this is the maximum score. Okay, you can get a maximum of 100 for this. Level of education 140, 154 official language proficiency, and 70 for Canadian work experience. Now for your spouse, this is what you can get if your spouse is part of the application. You can get a maximum of 10 depending on their level of education, 20 depending on their IELTS score, and 10 for their Canadian work experience if they have one. Transferability factors, 50 for this and 50 for this. Okay, foreign work experience, and with good, strong official language proficiency with CLB level 7 or higher, plus work experience. So there are bonus points. Technically, depending on the combination of user situation, there can be points awarded. That's 50 with if you have a Canadian work experience and foreign work experience, that's 50 points additional. Certificate of qualification, 50 points. Okay. Additional points, again, there are additional points, so you just have to make sure that you calculate as clearly as you can. So you can see these are factors that can add into your CRS score. All right, let's go to the points breakdown section by section. So for age, you can get a maximum of 100, but it would depend on your current age at the time of application. Or actually, it's not that at the time of application, it's at the time that you get an ITA and your application gets locked. So for example, you are 20 to 29 years of age, you'll still get the perfect 100 points. But from 30 onwards, you are missing 5 points every year you get older. Okay? And there. So it makes a whole lot of difference depending on your age, because if you've reached 45 years of age, then you do not get any more points for that. Level of education. So these are the corresponding points for that. The highest one would be 140 if you have a doctoral level university degree. Now keep in mind, this is not what you have graduated from. This is your equivalency when you've done an educational credential assessment. Usually it's not the same depending on the school that you've graduated from and the education system. If it's K-12, usually it's the same equivalency, but most of the time it's usually a year lesser. Okay, and this is for IELTS exam. Okay, so you just have to convert your IELTS score into the Canadian language benchmark level per ability. So this is per ability. You get maximum 128 points. Now, as far as I know, to get maximum points in this, you should have CLB 10 or more. So it's 8777 listening, and listening as the 8, and then 7 for the rest. Okay, and this is for your second official language. So French, you convert that into CLB language as well, CLB level as well, and you get additional points for that. It's not that high, but sometimes it's a matter of 1 or 2 points for you to get your ITA. And Canadian work experience, this is a huge addition to your score. There. Yep. So 1 year, just 1 year of work experience really gains you more points at 35. Okay, so that would depend on how many years you have or your spouse. Work experience here in Canada. Okay. And another pointing system for your spouse or common law. Their level of education. Language proficiency, so they can also go through the ECA and IELTS just to get more points for your application. Canadian work experience as well has a few points that can be awarded. And again, there's skill transferability factors, so these are like bonus points again. Combination of good language proficiency and a post-secondary degree. So there's corresponding points again for that. Another combination here, if you have Canadian work experience, post-secondary degree, there will be points again for that. Right, foreign work experience and good language proficiency, CLB 7 or higher, points again for that. And again, another additional points, if you have a relative here, just either brother or a sister, and French language skills, post-secondary education, okay, arranged employment. If you look at that, 200 points, but this is actually for senior roles here. And if you have arranged employment for NOC OAB, this is the job offer letter, that's 50 points. And the greatest addition to points, which secures an ITA for you, is if you have a provincial or territorial nomination. It's going to give you an automatic 600 points, which actually makes you a candidate for express entry already. For the next row, for sure, you'll be receiving an ITA. So all in total, the maximum points that you can get is 1,200 points. Now, for you to get an ITA, the ranges right now are 470. So the last draw was 472. So you can try to compute if you are within that range. If it's too low, then there are other programs that you can take. You can go through the student visa, so you can add in work experience and the Canadian education. And LMIA work permit, so you can add into your Canadian work experience. Take another IELTS score to have your scores higher, make it to the maximum ability. Or, well, take another program in your home country, a degree, a bachelor's or master's, which is going to give you a better equivalency, higher points for that. So it's really up to you on which program you'd like to take. So the first one, I would say the first step that you'd have to do is to complete your scores. Now, you can do this by yourself. Just go to this website, okay? You do not have to pay for a consultant or an agency just to check out your points. Or, well, of course, it would help because they can explain a few factors to you just to make sure you completely do it right. But you can do it by yourself.
So that's it, guys. I hope you were able to enjoy this video, and please, I would love to connect with you. Leave a comment if you've watched this video. Share with me your reactions, suggestions, and well, ideas for the next video. Thank you, guys. I'll see you again next time. Bye.